Kurth in car number 94 goes away on the front starting spot. Alongside of him is J.P. Morgan. J.P. ninth in points, has 1 win this season. In row number 2 is Shane Bradford in the number 56 car. He has a win this season. He's 5th in points. And Buster Bennett has 2 pole positions. He's 4th in points. In the 3rd row, Ryan Thigpen is 6th in points. He goes away in the number 5 spot. Your pole winner, the 7th pole of the season for Kevin Love. He's 2nd in points. He also has 7 wins. His speed, 107.540 miles per hour. Kevin drew 6 out of the inversion bucket, so he'll start in the number 6 spot. The points leader, Sean Mangum, starts 7th. He has a pair of wins this season. Alongside of him is Clay Rogers. This is his 6th time out with us this year. In the 5th row, the number 8 of Chuck Crump is 3rd in points. He has the inside spot in car number 8. And on the outside of him is the 12 of Andrew Medlin. Andrew out for his 3rd start of the season. Row number 6, the 11 of Stephen Barfield, and the 69 of Andrew Thomas. Row number 7 is the 91 of Brandon Sperling, the 43 of Jerry Reary. Patrick Glover and Terry Hoggart make up row number 8. And the final pair of rows, Morty Buckles in the 21 car, Ben Gable in the 15. In the 19 starting spot is Rob Fuller and Andy Weinberger. And in the last row all by himself, the number 49 is Nick Cece.
And as we come back, Steve Gant, you mentioned in the open that the points battle is very close. This division may be the closest.
It is close, Woody. Only 12 points separates the top 3 drivers. Sean Mangum on top, followed by Kevin Love from Mint Hill, North Carolina. Kevin's 8 points behind, followed by Chuck Crump, 12 points behind, and Buster Bennett and Shane Bradford.
And as we get ready to turn them loose for 150 laps, the car's getting the 1 lap to go signal. The light goes off atop the Tim Marburger Dodge pace car. You see the signal being shown. The fans settling in. Weather is threatening, but we're hoping it will miss us. As you look at Brad Kurth and J.P. Morgan, your front row here. This should be a good race, guys. A lot of good cars in this show.
It's one of the best fields we've seen, Woody. It's been a long time since we've seen this many equal cars, great cars. Not a lot of hot shoes here, not a lot of visitors, that Steve Post pointed out earlier. Not a lot of visiting drivers here. These guys are pretty much regulars here at Concord.
All right, about to set them loose for 150 laps.
They just bumped. They just bumped before they took the green, I think.
I hope that's not an omen of what's going to
I know.
What's to follow here. A whole lot more bump than that going on tonight.
Well, so far so good, and nosing ahead is J.P. Morgan. Brad Kurth trying to hang in on the low side and now bids for the lead again. Buster Bennett and Shane Bradford right behind as we complete lap 1, almost 3 wide for a moment there.
Look at that shot. They're still in formation, 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back through. It looks like a double file, almost a caution lap, except for at full speed.
A little bit of dicing and bumping going on back through the dog leg back there. A lot of cars was getting a little antsy, nudging the cars in front of them, but like you said, no harm, no foul.
Boy, Brad Kurth finally got single foul in the lead. Shane Bradford there in 2nd spot, but look at those guys back through those top 10 spots. They are really working each other over.
And we've got 2 distinct packs of cars now, a lead pack of some 15, 16 cars, and then the rest of the field coming through now. There you see the separation from pack 1 to pack 2, and unlike the super speedways, I don't think that second pack will be able to draft up there.
No, but I'll tell you, they're racing hard in both packs, actually.
Brad Kurth is doing a great job staying out in front right now. He's got a lot of hungry drivers behind him, but he is really showing the way right now. Brad Kurth in the 94 class.
Shane Bradford right there now on the inside. Bradford trying to make a run at him. Man, I'll tell you what, we're not 5 laps into this thing, and they are really racing each other for that top spot. Now we see Buster Bennett get out of line. He moves to the inside of J.P. Morgan for the 3rd spot.
Shane Bradford continues to look low, but hasn't been able to get the grip yet. Now we do have a spin. As Steve Gant mentioned, it's Hoggart. Hey, there's our old pal Sandy Durham.
Yeah, all the way from California to flag this race and to work this race tonight.
And she gets to wave the first caution flag. Here comes Brad Kurth to take that flag with 5, about to be 6 laps complete. Shane Bradford rides 2nd, J.P. Morgan 3rd, 4th is Buster Bennett. Kevin Love rounds out the top 5. Then it's Ryan Thigpen, Sean Mangum, and then a newcomer. Steve, you mentioned not too many newcomers here, but how about Brad Rogers? That name may ring a bell.
Brad Rogers is the younger brother of Clayton Rogers. If you remember a couple years ago, Clayton come out here and won the Oktoberfest. He won 2 legs of that triple header and walked out of here with $75,000 one Saturday night.
There he is.
You see
now, how about this? when he was here, we all knew him as Clayton Rogers, but now that he's moved on to some Hooters Pro Cup and Busch Grand National racing, he's become Clay Rogers.
Well, that's nothing. I knew Jimmy Spencer when he didn't have hair, and he grew hair now that he's a Winston Cup driver. So that's nothing about Clay Rogers.
And Brad, you saw him a while ago in the helmet and uniform. He looked just like his brother, because I punched you two guys and said, that's Clayton in that car. And we walked up closer, and it was Brad, but Clayton is here. Clayton's turning some wrenches for him and giving some pointers on how to get around here at Concord.
Actually, I think in the introduction I might have even said Clayton Rogers as far as that goes. The two look a lot alike, and actually I talked to both of them today, so just get them all confused here.
And after we did an interview with him, and we'll hear that later on tonight, but after we got through, Clayton come back to us and said that's his first ever, and he did a good job.
Yeah. I remember one time you interviewed him in Victory Lane, and he said, man, I got to go. I got to get to the prom.
I interviewed him in Victory Lane when he won the $75,000. So that's kind of my claim to fame. We all have a Clay Rogers moment, I guess.
And I got another story about him. I interviewed him going around the racetrack in the back seat of a Lincoln Continental.
Wow.
Did see a pit stop there. The 31 of Patrick Glover came down pit road. Not sure what they did on the car. Just actually saw him exiting pit road.
All right, light is off atop the pace car, and we're about to get back to green with 9 laps complete. There you see the vital statistics, and you got a glimpse there. Kendall Motor Oil, they've joined forces here at Concord, added a new sponsorship package, and they're helping the guys out here. So welcome aboard to those folks. As Brad Kurth leads them around. Remember the last time we were here, Steve, he bounced off the wall hard, and it was a big wreck down the front stretch, and several of the leaders got swept up in it.
Yeah, it seems like it. And I remember making the comment a couple weeks ago, he tore up a race car so bad we thought, well, we won't see him the rest of the night. Well, about 25, 30 laps later, he comes back, and the car run fairly good. Well, we saw him do it again 2 weeks ago.
All right, back underway as we've completed 10 laps now.
That battle is shaped up again. Those are right there, folks, are two hard-charging drivers right at the front of the field. Now, Shane Bradford able to get a run down on the inside. He's got alongside of Kurth. But these guys are hard-nosed racers, both these guys. J.P. Morgan just sitting there in third spot wondering which one to follow.
Well, Shane Bradford's currently 5th in points, and he's definitely a good racer here at Concord. He wants to win. He wants to put him a number in the win column. Look at
oh, my.
JP on the inside.
Boy, Shane Bradford just about wiped out the first half of the field. He got sideways. He did a great job saving that car, but was able to do it, actually, and that's allowed Brad Kurth to pull at about a 2-car length advantage.
And there is a tight pack side by side right there. All those cars battling for the second spot and more contact. J.P. Morgan and Shane Bradford make contact. Here comes Buster Bennett on the outside.
I think Kevin Love took a look to the inside and saw a little contact in front of him and kind of let off of it a little bit. He's settled back into 5th place now, so never count that guy out in that 6 car. Look at him nudging under the 7 car, Buster Bennett.
Yeah, and there's Sean Mangum, the points leader there, but right behind Kevin Love in the number 25 car. He's working his way towards the front of the field also.
Here comes Kevin Love to the inside, making a bid for that 3rd spot as you see the field storm by. There's Kurth. Shane Bradford continuing to make a run on him, but Kevin Love right there, the blue car, has just put a pass on Buster Bennett to take over that 4th spot. He is the 2-time defending champion, but the last 2 televised races, he's had a lot of trouble, and that has allowed Sean Mangum to move into the points lead.
Yeah, Kevin has 7 wins this season, but he's just actually lost some points, not been quite as consistent as we've seen him in years past. Andrew Medlin actually just making a trip down pit road in the number 12 car.
Saw him drop off the pace. He's on pit road now, so there's maybe something wrong with the car, a flat tire, we don't know. Right now,
it looks like they're going under the hood, Steve.
There's a great battle for 3rd place right there.
16 complete.
Got to say hello to Kevin's dad, Dale Love. Today's Dale's birthday. Happy 49th to him. He probably didn't want me to say the number, but happy birthday to Dale Love.
If you look down there where their pit stall is and up on the hauler, there's all kinds of balloons and happy birthday signs, so they're having a party here tonight at Concord. It's Brad Kurth on top, Shane Bradford second. Into the wall, Patrick Glover. Well, actually, I think he kept it out of the wall. You see the donut there where he spun around. Let's see when on the other side. It looks like that may be wrinkled up a little bit.
Yeah, he hit the left side on the wall, I believe, is what it looks like on the left-hand side of the car. We can't see it in that shot, so yellow flag back out again.
All right, looks like he's back underway. So while we've got a moment, Steve Gant was circulating through the garage area earlier today, and let's see who he caught up with.
We're here with the driver of the 91 car, Brandon Sperling. Brandon, hadn't seen a whole lot of you this year. Last time we were here, I think you loaded up and went home before the race even started.
Yeah, we were first time driving this 91 car for Steve Billmeyer, and we had some problems in practice with the engine, and we ended up breaking apart, and we didn't know how bad it was, so just to be safe, we ended up going home.
There you go. It's a hot night tonight. How's the car running? What can we expect?
It's very hot today. We got here a little bit late, and we only got about 10 laps of practice, but the car feels real good. It is a 150-lap race tonight, so hopefully this thing will be as fast at lap 150 as it is in lap 1.
Well, you say 150 laps is a long time, and we said it's a hot night. What's your driving style? What can we look for? Will you lay back for 75, maybe 100 laps, and then try to go to the front, or will you maintain your position or race to the front? What's your style?
Well, hopefully we'll qualify up top 5, top 10. That'll take a lot of worry off, not having to worry about staying out of the wrecks anyway, and really just stay in contention. Don't let the leaders get too far away, as long as we can see them with 50 or so to go, and then you want to save the car with 50 laps.
Brendan, not a newcomer here at Concord. We've seen you come out here and win a couple years ago. Where have you been all year?
This year I've been picking and choosing. I've done some racing in the ASA series, and I've been doing some testing for Steve here with the late model stock, and just ironing stuff out and getting ready for 2002 season.
I see Chevrolet on the back of that. You got a Rick Hendrick connection?
No, well, they're longtime friends of the Billmeyers, so they've helped us out a little bit here, and we want to do a good job for them too.
Okay, good luck, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, back to you, Woody.
So Brandon Sperling started in the 13th spot, has since fallen back to the 15th spot, and Steve Post, more activity on pit road.
Yeah, the number 93 of Andy Wainberg, he pitted, made a chassis adjustment on the car. We see the number 12 of Andrew Medlin, he remains on pit road. He's lost 4 or 5 laps. The hood is off. Now they're looking under the left front of the car. Also, Patrick Lever in the 31, he made another trip down pit road after that little spin down in turn number 3.
All right, about to complete the 21st lap. Brad Kurth, Shane Bradford, J.P. Morgan, Kevin Love, and Buster Bennett, your top 5 as the fans wave for the green flag.
Brad Kurth got a great restart. He gets a good jump coming off the turn 4 over there.
Oh, contact right there, just out of our camera, the 93.
Something's wrong with Patrick Glover. Smoke pouring from the car, and now you see, looks like sparks out of the back end.
Caution is back out.
Right front, him and the 93 car got together, and one of the cars went flying in the air. Just saw it going out of our screen as the cars raced down into turn number 1.
All right, yet another caution with 21 laps complete. We'll take a timeout and come back with the green flag.
Everyone knows you'll find big savings and great service at J&S Factory Showcase in Kannapolis. And that's exactly what you'll find at our new Salisbury location. That's right, J&S has 2 great locations, Kannapolis and Salisbury. At both locations, only $269 per month puts you in a beautiful new double-wide home. And what a home! Spacious kitchens, garden tubs, and more. The $269 offer is good at both Kannapolis and Salisbury. I'm going to say it again, folks. Don't cheat your family before you buy shop J&S.
Designs that work are designs that last. And a Delta washerless faucet lasts and lasts and lasts. When it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. So it works just as beautifully as it looks. Enduring designs by Delta for the beautiful designs that you live in. Come see Delta faucets at the studio showroom.
At Hilbish Ford Lincoln Mercury, we've been proudly serving Concord and Kannapolis for over 41 years. At Hilbish, we specialize in service before and after each and every sale. We have a huge selection of all the Fords, as well as quality late model trade-ins. And remember, at Hilbish Ford Lincoln Mercury, it's our everyday goal to beat the competition's best price by $300. Hilbish Ford Lincoln Mercury, I-85 exit number 58, US 29 North, Kannapolis.
That is what they're racing for, the checkered flag. They still got a ways to go. Only 26 laps complete. Brad Kurth is your leader. Shane Bradford second. Third, J.P. Morgan. Fourth, Kevin Love. Buster Bennett rounds out the top 5. A little bit further back, it's Ryan Thigpen. Then next in line is Sean Mangum. And then we have next in line. See, I wanted to do the same thing too, guys. I wanted to say Clayton Rogers, but it's actually Brad Rogers there in the 2 car. Then Chuck Crump and Andrew Thomas next in line.
From looking at that car, it's hard not to say Rusty Wallace.
That's the truth.
So that's all we need is another name in the mix.
And there your leader, Brad Kurth. It's always brother Mike coming in tonight, so hello to Mike Kurth.
They almost went 3 wide here at the tail end of the field heading into turn 1, but thought better of it. so far so good on the restart with 27 laps complete. Now Shane Bradford has continued to look to the inside of Brad Kurth. He's been able to get a nose out in front, but not take the outright lead.
Well, Brad Kurth right now is driving one of the best races I've seen him drive here in a long time here at Concord. He's led the first 28 laps. A couple threats, a couple challenges, but he's really doing a great job. The 2-car off the pace, up high.
Very nearly into the wall. He kept it off the wall, but caution comes out nonetheless. That was Brad Rogers that we were talking about. I was looking right at him. He just got a little loose, got up into the marbles and wiggled the car, but was able to keep it out of the wall. And Steve, you said you thought he had windshield wipers flapping with that tape there.
I saw it. Looked like it, yeah.
So Brad Kurth comes around to complete the 30th lap. And we're under caution for what, the 4th time, 3rd time?
This is the 4th time we've been under caution, yeah.
And now they're gonna come out and put some speedy dry down to make sure that there wasn't fluid over there that caused the problem with Brad Rogers. As you see the vital statistics here at Concord with 30 complete.
Woody, on that last caution, also Terry Hoggart took his car to the garage. He's apparently done for the day. And right now, looking over at Brad Rogers, here he comes back out of pit road, actually, in the number 2 car. So some adjustments or something on that machine, and he's coming back onto the racetrack down pit road. There he is there.
So he did make the stop and comes back out. One thing's for sure, he's got a lot of capable help down there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of capable help. That's a good team. Fire Protection is the sponsor on it. And brother Clay, of course, knows his way around this track as well as anybody. So if coaching is of value, and I believe it is, he's got some good coaching there.
Indeed he does. 31 laps complete now. As we mentioned, Brad Kurth, your leader. Shane Bradford, 2nd. J.P. Morgan, 3rd. Kevin Love, 4th. 5th is Buster Bennett. 6th is Ryan Thigpen. 7th is Sean Mangum. 8th is Chuck Crump. 9th is the 69 of Andrew Thomas. And rounding out the top 10, Morty Buckles in the 21. And that Morty Buckles, an interesting story with that Dr. Pepper sponsorship, Steve.
Yeah, that's a neat deal. That's the Miller Racing, which they're located actually right here on the Speedway property. And that's a program put together, Dr. Pepper and Operation Push, I believe it's Jesse Jackson's organization. Morty is an African-American driver, has come up through the short tracks, raced down in Georgia area, and actually we saw him a couple years ago race here in the truck race, truck series racing division.
And that had to be the best truck race ever.
That was the best truck race ever, yeah. But Morty, and they put together a deal where I believe it's at 4 racetracks. It's Southampton Speedway, South Boston, Concord Motorsport Park, and then I believe another one of the NASCAR sanctioned tracks. They're kind of just alternating around running big races there. Talked to Morty before the race and says the team is really coming together. Their best finish was in the opening night race here, but it feels like it's a lot better team now, and their consistency is starting to move them towards the front of the field.
They had a swarm of people around that car earlier, so they aren't lacking for bodies to work on it, that's for sure. Back underway at lap 33, another good jump for Brad Kurth.
Buster Bennett got a good run on the inside of Kevin Love there. We see that battle for the number 4 spot as your front 3 cars have broke away. There's a side-by-side. Bennett down on the inside, Love up high.
And Ryan Thigpen right behind. Now Kevin Love inches ahead, and here comes Thigpen, but way high goes Love. And that enables Bennett to stay right beside him. And now he goes around. Into the wall goes Kevin Love. More damage on Buster Bennett, more damage on the 22 of Ryan Thigpen. And for the 3rd straight televised race, Kevin Love finds himself in the wall, and I think all of them have been right there in that same spot.
Look at the damage on the back of that car. Here's the replay. Those two just got together. That's all.
Little contact, and that's all it takes. And look at that. Thigpen just unlucky. He thought, man, I'm going to be able to slip by both of them.
Yeah, I mean, and what was interesting in that replay, watching that, Sean Mangum, your points leader, was down on the inside and was the first car through that wreck.
There you see the damage on the Buster Bennett machine, so he will have to go to pit road. Kevin Love inching by pit road now, but this will give us a moment to check in with another driver that Steve Gant found earlier today.
Thanks, Woody. We're here with Rob Fuller, the driver of the 28 car. Rob, not a newcomer here at Concord. I believe it's your second outing here at Concord.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough place to get used to. We came here testing one night, and I mean, things went pretty good for what we had, and came back here and raced. We finished 12th. Actually ran out of gas on the last lap, so put a bigger fuel cell in it, and we're going to give it a go again.
Well, we know it's a good race car. We've seen several drivers drive it. It's I guess it's a rental race car from Jay Robinson.
Yeah, it basically is. We're trying to do something right now. NASCAR told me I needed to get some full body experience before I go bush racing. So with the open wheel experience, they just wanted me to run, particularly this track actually, maybe 10, 15 shows and get a couple top 5s, maybe a couple top 10s, and go from there.
What's your strategy? What's your expectations for tonight? What can we look for?
Well, last time I ran the 150, I laid back a little bit to try to let the wrecks happen and then go ahead. And I think I laid back a little bit too much. I want to try to qualify a little bit better and start a little bit more front and maybe put a little more heat on early.
Well, we wish you a lot of luck. I got to say one thing. I think you got a Penske connection. I believe you work for the Rusty Wallace team.
Yes, I do. Actually, both the tire changes on Rusty's car are racing. Bill Wilbur runs his sprint car, and I run this late model and modified shows. So between me, Billy, and Rusty, we do a lot of racing on the weekends.
There you go. Well, thanks for talking to us, and good luck tonight. Okay, Rob, thank you. Back to you, Woody.
Well, the strategy that Steve mentioned appears to be working because Rob Fuller has been biding his time. He started 19th, and now he's worked his way up to 12th.
Rob is nephew of course, Jeff Fuller, who's ran a number of NASCAR Busch Series and Winston Cup races. And as he said in the interview, has ran a number of Featherlight Modified Tour races. Seems like a really cool guy. It is interesting about him and Billy Wilburn, the tire changers, both do a lot of racing on the side. That's kind of neat about that Penske racing team.
Okay, let's show you again why we're under caution. This will involve the 6 car, Kevin Love, the 2-time defending champion, and second place in the points right here.
And watch Sean Mangum on the inside. He's the first car through this one, and that's your points leader. Watch him dive. You can't even see him. He dove so far to the bottom of the track to get through. Kevin Love, significant damage. Actually, Kevin has stopped on the racetrack, and they're pushing him, I believe, back to the pit area. Yeah, there's the car getting all kinds of repaired. Boy, that's a tough night for him. We ought to, if he's had terrible television luck with races, maybe we need to send Steve Gant down to interview him, and maybe the Gant jinx will work in reverse or something.
Maybe that'll change his luck. Okay, Steve, take a deep breath here and tell us about the pit situations, because there was a lot of activity there.
Really a lot of activity, but it kind of boiled down to mainly those guys involved in the wreck. The 7 of Buster Bennett, he had damage repair for a pit stop. The 22 of Ryan Thigpen, he stopped for damage repair. We see the number 6 of Kevin Love, as we say, stopped out on the racetrack. Now we have the number 15 car stopped here on the home stretch, Ben Gable. Not sure what the situation is with him, but that'll keep the caution out for another lap as there he goes. He's fired it back up now.
The pace car was just about to dive onto pit road. The lights came back on, it pulled back out, and now Ben Gable has gotten power back to the machine and is back underway. I see Buster Bennett coming in for another pit stop. Ryan Thigpen coming out after another pit stop. Also making a quick stop there as well was Brad Rogers in the 2 machine, and pit road kind of looks like a war zone with all the sheet metal that's been pulled off here lately.
Yeah, the guys have certainly been busy. There's Buster Bennett coming back down again. As you see, there's still significant left front damage. Bennett, of course, is 4th in points entering tonight's races. Has a win, actually now has 2 poles this season. No wins yet. As you see, there's a lot of good hustle by those guys on the pit crew.
And the other car that was involved was Ryan Thigpen. He is 6th in the points, but I think that car looks up to speed. It almost looked like he got a couple of wheels off the ground when he collided with the 7 there, but the car appears to be okay now. At least he came out of the pits very quickly. It looks like he's going to be able to get back up to speed. And look who's coming back now.
Kevin Love coming back onto the track. Also, there he is. A lot of damage on that thing.
I think he lost at least 3 laps and probably more.
Yeah, I think so too, unfortunately. Tough break for Kevin.
All right, back to green flag racing at lap 40.
And Buster Bennett going to lose the lap this time on pit road. Also, you just see the car there on pit road, so tough break for Buster.
Look at Morty Buckles a little bit further back making a move.
Yeah, he's up to the 6th spot. There he is there. He's having a real fine run in that number 21 Dr. Pepper car.
And Shane Bradford continuing to put some heavy pressure on Brad Kurth, but can't quite get the run off the turn to make the pass. Kevin Love didn't last long. He's going to come right back onto pit road now. Look at this.
Look at this mess. Nick Cece on the high side in the 49 car. They're 3 wide through the dogleg there. Ryan Thigpen and Andy Weinberg also in that 93 car in the middle of that.
And Nick Cece did the smart thing there. He just backed off and said, you guys go at it. I'm going to keep my car in one piece.
You know, Woody, we've talked about some of these young guys talking to Rob Fuller there during that break. Right now, there's the battle at the lead. Shane Bradford side by side. Oh, Bradford gets down low and gets sideways every time. Man. You know, but tonight's a good night for some of these young guys to get a good finish out of this thing. You've got 3 of your top 6 in the points, I believe, have already wrecked out of this thing, or not out of it, but have had serious damage on their car. Take a guy like a Morty Buckles or Rob Fuller, someone like that. Tonight's a real good shot to get some serious lap time and get a good top 10 finish here at Concord.
Well, and then again, too, you look at guys like Brad Kurth, Shane Bradford, J.P. Morgan. Those guys have had some bad luck of late as well, so they could use a good finish. But lurking back there in the 4th spot is the points leader, Sean Mangum, right there in the orange and white car.
Yeah, I talked to Sean earlier. He's just having a really strong season. He hasn't done it quite as much with wins, per se, as Kevin Love. Kevin's won a lot more races than he has, but he only has 2 wins, but he's done it with consistent finishing, and there he is running in the top 4 as they're beating and banging on each other all the way back through that pack.
And Morty Buckles right behind this group trying to make a move as well. I think Kurth is holding them up a little bit, Steve.
I would say so, and the fact that they're just all beating and banging on each other means that some of those cars in that pack are probably a little bit quicker than Brad Kurth.
Morty Buckles right behind this group is picking up another spot. He just got by Chuck Crump. You'll see him in your picture there.
Oh.
Around goes Morgan, and he bangs the wall.
Sean Mangum and the J.P. Morgan got together coming off from the final corner, and that's what happened.
Well, this is turning out to be a wild thing so far. Hopefully Morgan hasn't damaged the car very badly. It wasn't that bad of a hit. Let's take a look at it again, and you'll see him heading into the last turn. It was just a slow looping spin, and he just thumped the wall right there. Hopefully the car's not damaged too badly. And now we've got a couple of more guys coming back out on the track. The 7 of Buster Bennett, the 31 of Patrick Glover come back out. But there is your new leader. You just saw Shane Bradford. He took the lead from Brad Kurth right before that moment, before that caution came out.
Up at the top of the screen, you see a couple cars on pit road. The 1 of J.P. Morgan is that gray car coming in. He can't quite get into his pit boxes. The 69 of Andrew Thomas and Andrew Medlin are both there, stopped on pit road.
Let's take another look at that altercation coming off turn 4, and you'll see right there he got a little nudge from Mangum, and that was all it took because the car was in such a lean coming off the turn there that it didn't take much.
That's the worst spot because the weight transfer, or the car is actually probably its loosest spot right there coming out of the corner, and it doesn't take much on the back of it. There we see Andrew Medlin going behind pit wall in the number 12 car, but it doesn't take much at the tail end of that car to send it around. Kevin Love back on pit road. Buster Bennett also back on pit road. So, yeah, you're right, Woody. Pit road, a busy place to be tonight, and you need a traffic director down there.
J.P. Morgan back out on the track. Andrew Morgan, or rather Andrew, well, let me just drop back and punt here. Andrew Thomas actually comes off pit road now at lap 49. We'll be right back with the green flag.
Sparks Chrysler Jeep in Concord has been family owned and operated for over 40 years. We're located just 5 minutes north of the Concord Mills Mall in Concord. Sparks has proven that if you treat customers right, they'll keep coming back year after year. People drive from all over the Carolinas to do business with Sparks. The selection is great, and most of the used cars are that have been thoroughly inspected. Lower overhead means we can sell for less. Visit Sparks Chrysler Jeep in Concord and see good people and lower prices. You'll be glad you did.
Make Modern Wholesale in Kannapolis your only stop for retail or wholesale priced goods. They offer a complete line of tobacco products plus candy, gum, and novelty candies, not to mention juices, paper products, and a full line of cleaning supplies from disinfectants to deodorizers. If it's a church, civic group, soccer league, or baseball league, let Modern Wholesale fit your need. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and we offer free delivery with a $100 or more purchase. Modern Wholesale, 609 South Main Street in Kannapolis. We're open to the public. Call 933-4161.
Hi, this is your old friend Darrell Waltrip. You know, over the years, I've won my share of races, and it always took the best equipment and a top-notch crew. The same goes for collision repair. At Speedway Paint and Body, they have the most advanced state-of-the-art equipment and a staff of professionals trained in the art of collision repair. They're known throughout the racing community as the premier collision repair center. Shouldn't you trust them too? Quality only happens when you care enough to do your best. Speedway Paint and Body, the shop that cares about you.
Well, there is a race going on, but the kids are waiting for the green flag to come out. There you see the fans anxiously awaiting it as well. 52 laps complete right now. And this has been a wild show. Shane Bradford, your leader, but Steve, my goodness, pit road has been the busiest place at the track tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you'd be safer running around out on the racetrack than pit road the way these cautions have been here lately. It's been really busy down there. The number 1 car of J.P. Morgan, he's still on pit road. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a lap or another lap. Not sure about that. The 93 of Andy Weinberg, he stopped about every time we've had a caution, and they've been putting jack and bolts and wrenches in the back of that car, working on it, trying to do chassis adjustments each and every time.
There you see the top 2 cars. The top 3 have broken away now as Bradford, Kurth, and Mangum continue on. Morty Buckles has worked his way up to 4th. Chuck Crump rides 5th. And can that be Ben Gable in the 6th spot after stopping on the track? We got one very slow. It's J.P. Morgan headed onto pit road, but Steve documented that he had just lost a lap.
See, things now stringing out just a little bit. We see some good racing back there in the pack. Some good guys are going to be able to log some lap. And again, some of these younger guys getting some seat time. Shane Bradford continues to set the pace in that 56 car. He's running really well there tonight out there in that lead spot.
Indeed he is, and it looked earlier like Brad Kurth was holding these guys up, but now it doesn't look like that Bradford is able to get very far away from him. He's got a little bit of a margin, but here's second and third in your picture, Brad Kurth and the 25, the points leader, Sean Mangum, and Morty Buckles is closing.
Yeah, Sean Mangum, I think, I'm not sure if Brad Kurth was holding up Shane Bradford that much, but it does appear Sean Mangum looks a little faster than Kurth now also. He stepped out of line a couple times looking for room beside Kurth, not able to get it done just yet, but it's still pretty early in this race. We're a third of the way through is about all. Your points leader's running in third spot, second in points, and a few other guys in the top 5 are hurting tonight, so he needs to be real patient in that number 25 car. No sense in hustling or hurting things right now.
Yeah, this is likely to be a good night for Chuck Crump as well. He's only 12 points off the lead. Buster Bennett has had trouble. Shane Bradford is leading it. He's 5th in the points, and here's the battle for second.
Yeah, Sean Mangum got down the inside. Morty Buckles right there. Also, Chuck Crump also. They're single file down on the inside as they try to work to the bottom of Brad Kurth down into the turn 3.
And these guys are putting on a whale of a show, and Shane Bradford is enjoying it as they almost go 3 wide off the last turn. This is enabling Shane Bradford to just pull away. He's up to a 10 or 15 car length lead right now and growing it.
Yeah, Shane's got it right now on cruise control and just out there driving away from the rest of these guys as they race. Again, I believe that Brad Kurth is a little bit slower than some of the guys behind him, and that's why they're all bunched up behind him. There's Chuck Crump and Morty Buckles battling for the number 4 spot.
And you know, Steve, last time we were here talking about guys having bad luck, we got problems now. One car has erupted as it comes off the last turn. It's the Andrew Thomas machine, smoke pouring from that car.
Boy.
But I was about to say, you were talking about Chuck Crump. He was leading the race and pulling away the last time out and then had mechanical problems when he was looking for his first win. But, boy, the Andrew Thomas car, look at the front end just crinkled in. And that may be a radiator problem. And
yeah, actually the 93 car also, Andy Wainberg. Andy, I had a chance to talk to him. He's the Miller Welding rep in the area. He deals with all the NASCAR Winston Cup and Busch Series teams. And he's just out here racing. He raced a lot in the Remax Challenge Series up in the Midwest. He's from up in the Wisconsin area, out here racing, trying to have a good time. Has about 2 new race cars sitting at home. This is just an old one. Told me earlier he didn't care if it got beat up a little bit. And I'm not sure he might have the same thoughts now because I think it did get beat up. But he's a really neat guy. Had a good chance to visit with him. Great guy.
All right, there you see the vital stats. 63 laps complete. Your leader continues to be Shane Bradford. Next in line is Brad Kurth, then Sean Mangum. A couple of more cars coming onto the pit road right now.
Yeah, we got Kevin Love coming down pit road and Buster Bennett also.
All right, we'll take a timeout, come back with the green flag.
For all your wireless communication needs, there's only one place to go. J&W Communications, announcing the grand opening of our 4th location, Independence Boulevard in Charlotte. J&W Communications is the largest Bell South mobility DCS retailer in the Carolinas. At J&W, we make wireless communication easy because we put our customers first. Watch for the J&W car at Concord Motor Speedway. Stop by J&W and with every new activation, mention the car and get a free leather case or lighter adapter. J&W Communications, now with 4 locations.
Picture this, a life without worry, where problems are quickly solved. Picture a future that's financially secure for you and the ones you love. Picture Nationwide, changing to meet your needs with insurance products to protect what you hold dear and financial services that help you prepare for your future. If you can picture it, Nationwide can too.
She's saying, Mom, can you believe it? We've had 7 cautions and 68 laps. And that is the truth. It has been a war out here tonight and more pit activity, Steve.
Yeah, I had a trio of cars on pit road. Brad Rogers come in for some adjustments. The 29 of Barfield came in, Stephen Barfield that is. And the number 91 car also came on pit road, Brandon Sperling. This is his first start of the season and came down pit road to make some adjustments on his racer.
Well, the wind has picked up dramatically here. Just a moment ago, the flags were starched on the front stretch. As we get back underway at lap 69, Shane Bradford, Brad Kurth, Sean Mangum, Morty Buckles, and Chuck Crump, your top 5.
There's your front trio of cars able to pull away just a little bit from Morty Buckles in the 4th spot. Now it looks like Brad Kurth's got a good full head of steam on Shane Bradford.
Something went wrong with Brandon Sperling in the 91. He slowed dramatically and has come on pit road. And now we've got the battle for the lead. Looking inside is Brad Kurth, right behind the points leader, the 25, Sean Mangum, hoping one of these guys will slip and open the door for him to get by.
My hunch is on this, Woody, is that Brad Kurth is really good for 3-4 laps after a caution, because he seems to every time get a good run on Shane Bradford. As the run goes, and we'll see if it's the case here, Bradford's able to pull out an advantage on him, but Kurth really gets a good strong run on him early in the run, right after a caution period.
That's probably the cool call of the race. I bet you're right on that, but don't look now, Steve. While we've been paying attention to the front runners, Ryan Thigpen, who was involved in that big crash earlier, has worked his way back to 7th.
Yeah,
and is charging.
He's having a good run. He got out of that with limited damage. There he is. You see the right front. Actually, the right front looks like it is not quite right, but he's still having a good run there in that 22 car.
The front 5 are bunched nose to tail. They have a separation of about 5 or 6 car lengths on the 15 of Ben Gable, who stopped on the track when we were about to go green during an earlier caution. He's now in the 6th spot. Right behind him is Sean Mangum. Then it's Jerry Reary in the 43. And look who's battled all the way up to the end of the top 10 now, the 28. Rob Fuller we talked about. He said he just wanted to be patient.
They just need to halfway down this time by, you see the starter give the signal. We're 75 laps into this thing, and these guys that are on the racetrack now, the guys running up front, it's time to start putting their strategy into play. But the guys running from about 7th spot on back, they've got 75 good laps of racing under their belts here tonight, 75 more to go. This is where a young driver can get some really good seat time in a race car.
And boy, I just continue to be impressed with Morty Buckles. He is just being patient, picking his spots, biding his time, and working his way through the field, and he's right on the back bumper of the points leader.
Yeah, Morty is doing a really good job in that 21 car. He has stayed, actually started back a little bit into the field in the 17th starting spot, and he's up to 4th spot now, so he's had a strong run in that car.
And he's not just charging through there wildly. He's waiting until he gets an opportunity, then making a go at it.
Look at the fenders on that car. There's no wrinkles in the car. He's done a really good job. Now, we might have jinxed him with that, but he has done a really good job. The car is all intact. He's done it without rooting, without gouging anybody, and he's up there in 4th spot with a car that looks like it's in really good shape.
Brandon Sperling being pushed behind the wall now. Also, the Andy Weinberg car has been retired for the evening. Now Kevin Love is just ahead of the leaders. We got a report earlier that he was 8 laps down. He will soon be 9 laps down because Shane Bradford is coming in a hurry. And Kevin wisely moves over and lets the leaders go by. Although he drifted kind of high there, I bet he can't keep the car very low for long.
Yeah, that thing's beat up pretty bad.
He's just trying to hang on and salvage some kind of a finish here, because as much of a battle as this race has been, if he can just keep the car rolling, he's going to have a semi-decent finish.
Yeah, there's been a lot of guys that dropped out of this thing, and if he's 8-10 laps down, then he needs to go to lap 140 or 142, because if someone wrecks and they only complete 140 laps, he can complete more than that. So he needs to stay out there and keep logging some laps to get every spot he can get. As we talked about from the opening on, the points battle is very, very tight here. He needs everything he can get his hands on.
Well, 21 started, 15 are still running, and there is the battle for the 6th spot. Ben Gable has it in the 15. Ryan Thigpen starting to look to the inside. A little bit of tire rub there, perhaps, on the Gable machine.
Yeah, just as the car tipped into the turn, it looked like maybe the tire got down on the wheel. And same thing down in turn 1 also. Ryan Thigpen now looking to the inside through the dog leg. Battle for 6th spot. Ryan Thigpen's going to take that down into turn 3.
And I wouldn't have bet you that Ryan Thigpen would be any kind of a factor in this race after watching that crash he was in earlier. But, man, he is marching back through the field.
Yeah, he's done real well. He's up to 6th spot now. He's got a little bit of a distance to catch the top 5, but they're racing each other. That's a good battle for 3rd spot, as Sean Mangum still has it. Morty Buckles wants it as they continue on racing down into turns 1 and 2.
Shane Bradford beginning to get away now from the cars 2nd through 5th. He's probably got a 6 or 8 car length lead now as he rolls off of turn 4. And here comes Chuck Crump battling Morty Buckles again. Those two have been putting on a pretty good battle.
Yeah, they've swapped that spot wherever they've been at on the racetrack. They've swapped it back and forth between them. Now Crump in that Mississippi Framers car was looking to the inside. Now they've got back in line down into turn 3.
And Thigpen is gaining on this group. Right there, you just saw him appear in the picture. He is coming on the top 5. Big fireworks extravaganza following this race tonight. We, of course, won't be televising that, but more of the activities they're putting on for you here at Concord. They've got all kinds of events scheduled throughout the year. Give them a call at 782-4221 or check out the website at concordmotorsportpark.com.
Yeah, Shane Bradford, as we thought, he's kind of pulled out now, about a 10-car length advantage. Again, has it on cruise control. Bit of a 56 car. Good to see Shane, local guy here right from Concord, does a great job. That battle now for second spot.
Kurth wiggled a little bit there as he was starting to get away from Sean Mangum, and that brought the group right back to him. He's loose.
Yeah,
he may have a tire going down or something because he can't keep the car down at all.
Something doesn't look right on that thing. He is not able to hold the bottom of the racetrack, and it gets a little out of shape, jumps sideways on him.
It might be what you mentioned, that he's set up for short runs and the handle goes away on him.
Yeah, but boy, that tightens things up, and things could get wild back here with those 3 cars behind him.
He really cannot keep the car down at all coming off of 4. You see, he's about a half a lane or more higher than everybody else chasing him, but evidently he's got a lot of horsepower because he can hold them off.
That's exactly what I was saying. That thing handles well on the straightaways, that's for sure. But
and look at Thigpen has caught that group.
Just going to say the same thing. Ryan Thigpen has really charged back through this field.
Shane Bradford, meanwhile, has built about a half a straightaway lead. Something went wrong with Chuck Crump. He slowed all of a sudden. Maybe they had to gather the car back up, but Thigpen shoots by him, and now we've got a real knee lead.
Something happened with Kurth. Morty Buckles went from 4th to 2nd and coming off the final corner. Something with Kurth, and Sean Mangum had to back out of it, and Morty Buckles was down on the inside, and he drove by both of them.
That may be the cool move of the race. Morty put a slick one on him and got by about 3 cars in the blink of an eye.
That was impressive. That really was. That was a heads-up move by Morty, and the beauty of it is he was running nose to tail with a couple other cars. Now look at that. Morty's got a lot of distance between him and the guy in front of him, a lot of distance between him and the guy behind him. He can concentrate on hitting this line. He can concentrate on trying to chase down Shane Bradford.
Shane Bradford does indeed now have almost a straightaway lead on second place Morty Buckles. And boy, the handle has really gone away on the Kurth car, and it doesn't look like Mangum is handling especially well either.
No, you know, Ryan Thigpen has caught him. Chuck Crump is right there. They seem to really be all over his back bumper, so we'll see what happens here as they race, I believe, in the number 4 spot Sean Mangum has currently.
It could be that Sean may have worn his tires down trying to find a way to get by Kurth because they ran hard nose to tail for some 30 laps at least.
Yeah, Woody, you know, we talk about Brad Kurth not being able to put the car down on the bottom of the speedway, but at the same time, Sean Mangum was pinching the car down on the inside of the speedway, and a lot of times that'll scuff off some of the tire wear, or scuff off some wear on the tire, and that might have been a problem that he's got now.
There is Mangum in the 25. He is the points leader. That's 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in your picture.
Brad Kurth now, he's able to kind of stabilize that situation. A couple laps ago, we thought he was going to get passed by about 4 cars. Now he's got a couple car lengths back to Sean Mangum. Morty Buckles got by, but all the rest of them are still behind him.
So far, so good. Thigpen continuing to put some heavy pressure on the points leader, Sean Mangum. And if you're Sean Mangum right now, Steve, do you think maybe I don't want to push the car this hard considering the trouble that Kevin Love has had and just maintain this points lead?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Love is numerous laps down. Chuck Crump is his next closest competition. Chuck is in his mirror, 2 cars back. It's good to see with Chuck. Buster Bennett, he's had, Chuck Crump is only 12 points back, but he's 2 positions behind him on the racetrack. So Chuck Crump, he's looking like he's going to get Kevin Love. But looking further back, Buster Bennett is next in line. He's had a tough night. Another guy that's going to make a move right now is Shane Bradford. Is 5th in points coming into tonight's racing, and he's leading this thing. So he's looking to make a good move here tonight also.
And he would need to gain some 5 spots on Buster Bennett to take that spot away. With the trouble Buster has had, he will in all likelihood do that.
Yeah.
So Steve Gant mentioned in the open that we could see a big shakeup in at least 3 divisions, and at least in this class, it's coming true.
You know, Shane Bradford really doing a good job in that 56 car tonight. He has just got up front, stayed out of harm's way, and really has that thing on autopilot. There is a lot of times we come out here, we see Shane get behind early and have to race himself through the front of the field. He beats the car up. He, as I said, he's a hard charger. He's a hard racer. Tonight he's been able to get out there in the lead, take care of his race car. All the fenders are on it, and he's doing a really nice job racing in that 56 car.
He really has, and we mentioned during the last race he was involved in an early crash. As Thigpen now looks below Sean Mangum, attempting to take that 4th spot away. They're side by side, and he's there.
Look at that right front tire, the way it's tipped out. The bottom of it is tipped out, the camber on it, and he just, but seems to be working now. He's up to the number 4 spot after dropping to the tail of the field.
I was going to say about Shane Bradford, he was involved in a hard wreck early in the last 150 lapper here, and he was telling us afterwards that he had just had some wisdom teeth pulled out. He said he hit so hard it pulled the stitches out from his surgery for his wisdom teeth.
Man, that hurts just thinking about it.
That is a lick. Here comes Ben Gable just ahead of the 28 of Rob Fuller, who's kind of quietly having a good night himself.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for these guys, and now they're starting to stack some laps and have not had a caution somewhere in the 60s, so we've got about 40 laps of green flag racing here. This gives a lot of these guys that don't have quite as many laps to see what their car does after 30, 40 laps, and I'm sure that some of these guys running in this top 10 spots are learning a whole lot here tonight.
And don't look now, but Morty Buckles is reeling the leader in as we continue to watch the battle here side by side. Sean Mangum trying to hold off Chuck Crump. That's the battle for 5th.
Yeah, for 5th spot there, and Crump looks to the low side through the dog leg. Sean Mangum looked like at one time he was getting up there going racing, but something is not quite as, the car just is not quite as strong right now as it was earlier tonight.
I think the handle may have gone away on that car. I think you're right, Steve. When he was working hard trying to get underneath Brad Kurth, he may have worn his tires to the point where the handle has escaped him here.
40 laps remaining in this race, and you're right. Now there's Shane Bradford, but Morty Buckles is closing in on him.
Caution is out. I don't see a car in trouble. We may have a situation where there's some fluid on the racetrack.
No, there, look, Brad Kurth.
Man.
Our camera crew, they caught it there. Good job, Brad Kurth has all kinds of damage to the left front of that car. Fireworks display right there.
Yeah, a little bit early. Let's take a look at it again and show you how this one came about. Oh, and man, Thigpen had battled all that way back, and now he gets in more trouble. And earlier today, Steve Gant had a chance to talk to the points leader.
Thanks again, Woody. We're here with the driver of the 25 car, Sean Mangum. Sean, man, you're the man of the hour, first in the points.
Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate to sit where I'm at right now.
Well, you got 2 wins, so you've earned it.
I'll say I've earned it. You know, I've come out here every week, you know, the last couple of years and paid my dues, really, and now we're turning around this season, as we thought at the first of the year. And we're really turning around, and I'm kind of happy with where we're at right now.
Well, you go out there tonight with you're, I think, 8 points ahead, I believe, of Kevin Love in the 6 car. Do you go out there and race the entire field, or do you go out there and race the 6 car?
150 lap race like we are tonight. You kind of try to get in a spot where you can ride. Of course, I'll be chasing Kevin, or vice versa. Wherever we qualify and how we start is how I try to keep him on my side. If he's not behind me, I don't. Just however it falls, but I try to stick around there toward the end of the race, and hopefully we'll fall ahead of him.
I talked to your mom a while ago before the race, and she said something about you had left a kill switch on or something, and you were looking for a piece or a part. Did you get everything squared away?
Yeah, well, we had a battery to go dead. I think that's been causing the problems the last couple of weeks. The car's been acting kind of funny, and we finally got us a battery a while ago. Just barely did get in for qualifying, so we're here and hopefully gets the top 5, maybe top 3 qualifying position. Get start up front this tonight.
There you go. We're going to turn you loose, let you go get them. Best of luck.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for talking to us. Okay, guys, back to the tower.
So Sean Mangum started 7th, had worked his way as high as 3rd, and now he's coming onto pit road, Steve.
Yeah, not sure what the deal is with that. He was in 3rd, but as we talked about, it was not necessarily a strong 3rd, so they might be going to make an adjustment on that car, try to make it a little bit quicker. Brad Kurth also has been on pit road at least twice that we caught him. Buster Bennett also back on pit road with his damaged racer there, the number 7 car.
Yeah, and I think Kurth may have been able to stay on the lead lap. All right, 115 laps complete, back with a furious finish after this.
Another rough day on the lake. Now, you don't have to rough it anymore. Introducing the new Tracker Pro Team 175. The first boat with the all-new Revolution hull. And the only boat with a smooth ride guarantee.
Visit Midstate Marine, Kannapolis for all your boating needs.
This is some race here at Concord Motor Park. What's this? The number 6 car is pulling off the track.
I understand.
Go, go!
At Moose Drug, the most important thing to us are the needs of our customers. Nothing stands in the way of making sure that you get great value and superior service. It's been that way since 1882.
The number 6 car is back in the race, and Moose Drug comes through again.
Everyone knows you'll find big savings and great service at J&S Factory Showcase in Kannapolis. And that's exactly what you'll find at our new Salisbury location. That's right, J&S has 2 great locations, Kannapolis and Salisbury. At both locations, only $269 per month puts you in a beautiful new double-wide home. And what a home! Spacious kitchens, garden tubs, and more. The $269 offer is good at both Kannapolis and Salisbury. I'm going to say it again, folks. Don't cheat your families before you buy shop J&S.
What sets Village Jewelry apart from their competitors?
Well, I believe it's trust. When our customers buy something from Village Jewelry, they know that we're going to stand behind our product.
We offer a wide selection of quality jewelry at competitive prices.
Well, I think it's our service after the sale.
Shop Village Jewelry today in the Cloverleaf Plaza.
I think we try to make every customer feel very comfortable.
And that's what Village Jewelry is all about.
One lap to go before we get the green flag. Light is off atop the Tim Marburger Dodge pace car, and Steve, some nifty pit work by a couple of teams there.
Yeah, Brad Kurth made 3 or 4 pit stops. Not sure how many, but did not lose a lap, though. We just checked with scoring and did not lose a lap. 25 is Sean Mangum. We talked about the car not handling well or something not quite right. Saw the guys under the front of it. They were looking at it. They had some measuring equipment underneath it. They were looking whether it looked like a toe-in or toe-out situation. So that car apparently is not indeed handling the way they want it to be.
All right, here we go. We've got Shane Bradford leading, Morty Buckles second, Ryan Thigpen, who did not pit after that collision with Brad Kurth, and fourth is going to be the Chuck Crump machine as we get the green flag here at lap 118.
We'll see now what if Morty Buckles has something for Shane Bradford, or if Bradford had it on cruise control and was just keeping a margin there. Buckles did close in on him, so he should be really strong. Kevin Love,
boy, he clogged him up.
He certainly did.
And something's wrong under the scoreboard there. The 31 has stopped. Patrick Glover, this may bring out another caution. He is not moving. He's going to have to stay out of the way, and caution is indeed out. 119, about to be 120 laps complete. He may have got to bumping going into turn 1 when Kevin Love couldn't get up to speed in that damaged car, and people had to try and dodge him. I wonder if he got together with somebody and all that. That could very well be the case. At any rate, 120 laps are now on the scoreboard, and let's check in for the final time in this race with Steve Gant from his adventures earlier today.
That's what we were here with Brad Rogers. I almost said Clayton Rogers, but you're Clayton's younger brother. Not a newcomer here at Concord. How's the car running?
It's running real good right now. We come down here the other day and tested for a while. Finally got some stuff figured out. You know, my brother here is helping me a whole bunch. Rodney Childers and everybody here is sticking behind me. I'm just finally getting the groove of this thing.
A hot night, a long race. What can we look for?
I don't know. I'm going to try to take it easy this first 25, 50 laps. Go at it the last 50, 100, something like that. Do my best.
There you go. I got to mention Clayton, your brother over here. You said he's helping you out quite a bit. That's a good man to have in your pits. We come out here about 2 years ago and saw him walk away with all the money in one October.
Yeah, same car, same spring, same everything, man. We're just trying to get this show on the road, you know.
Good luck. Thanks for talking to us.
Appreciate it.
Okay, Woody, back upstairs.
So having a pretty good night in that 2 machine is Brad Rogers. If that's the same car Clayton used to drive out here, we know it's very good. Right now he rides in the 7th spot. Right ahead of him, another guy who's having a good night, Rob Fuller, started in the 19th spot, is up to 6th.
Yeah, that is. You know, we talk Brad Rogers. This is his 6th time out this year. And again, I like watching these young drivers get some experience. Rob Fuller and Rogers also. No damage on those race cars. That's a good thing. That means that the cars are still in pretty good shape and they can get some quality laps here late in one of the events.
Speaking of damage, look at Thigpen there in that 22. It looks like it's been off-road racing, and I still can't believe that he didn't make a pit stop after that collision with Kurth, but the car evidently is okay because he didn't fall back on that
Woody,
restart.
that thing gets faster and faster and faster. He had to take a sledgehammer to it before every week or something, if that's what it does.
Maybe so. All right, we've got 122 laps complete. Shane Bradford on top. Morty Buckles is second. Third, Ryan Thigpen. Fourth, Chuck Crump. Fifth, Ben Gable. Sixth, Rob Fuller. Seventh, the 2 of Brad Rogers. Eighth, I believe, is Nick Cece, unless he lost a lap. Ninth looks to be Jerry Reary. 10th is Sean Mangum. 11th is Brad Kurth, and here we go. Nick Cece may be a lap down.
Yeah, but still having a real good night here, that's for sure.
And the car is, as you mentioned, relatively unscathed compared to some of the guys.
That's the thing. We've seen a lot of times some of these young guys have come out here this year and really have beat up some race cars, and you don't get any better wrecking a race car. You just don't get any experience. You don't get anything you want. Tonight there's a lot of cars. There are cars that have damage, but there's a battle for this 3rd spot as Chuck Crump goes around the outside of Ryan Thigpen.
Thigpen on that restart was looking underneath Morty Buckles, and I was thinking, my goodness, how can he be doing that with as much damage as he has? But now he surrenders 1 spot to Chuck Crump, who darn near won last time out until a late mechanical problem cost him that show. But Shane Bradford has been the class of this field tonight. He had some early problems getting by Brad Kurth, but once he got out front, he has been dominant, although look who's coming, Morty Buckles.
Morty Buckles has done a fabulous job. Started 17th. He's up to 2nd spot. That is just an impressive run. If he goes no further than this, it's an impressive run. But he does look like he wants to challenge Shane Bradford for this win.
And, you know, Morty Buckles is a guy without a whole lot of experience. I mean, it's not like he's a rookie, but he doesn't have a whole lot of experience here at Concord.
Yeah, you know, he ran a truck race. I think we mentioned this earlier. Ran a truck race a couple of years ago here with us. So he is right on Shane Bradford now. He comes up through a go-karting background down in Atlanta, Georgia area, so he has some experience, but not a lot. This year, though, he's running a lot of different tracks. I always think that's a good thing to do, is you learn a lot by running a lot of different tracks, and that's what he's doing. He's down on the inside of Shane Bradford. This is going to be quite a battle here over the final 20 laps or so.
He took a look that time coming off of 4, takes another coming off of 1, and is there at least with a fender. Right now he dives hard into the turn and makes it stick. I can't believe it. I thought we were headed for a wreck there as hard as those guys drove in.
Yeah, they're working around a lap car there. Yellow flag is out.
Morty Buckles to the lead. We've got a big problem over here again. The 94, Brad Kurth. That car can't take much more. It may wave the white flag here in a minute.
Jerry Reary also involved over there. If Brad didn't finish it before, he's finished it off. Not well. He's backing
look
away
at all
on his
the
own.
fluid.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty long caution here. Look at all the debris also. You see all the metal pieces, and he's still going.
But right before, I believe that Morty Buckles is going to get credit for the lead. I believe he had been scored in the lead by the time this came out. We'll see how scoring is going to do it. They do indeed show the 21 of Morty Buckles in command right now with 19 laps remaining. And Brad Kurth, my goodness, how can he see?
He can't, and he's spreading debris all the way around the racetrack. This is going to be a long caution period here because I saw a body part fall off down in turn 1 also. So
Jerry Reary with some damage as well with 132 laps complete.
Designs that work are designs that last. And a Delta washerless faucet lasts and lasts and lasts. When it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. So it works just as beautifully as it looks. Enduring designs by Delta for the beautiful designs that you live in. Come see Delta Faucets at the studio showroom.
Sparks Chrysler Jeep in Concord has been family owned and operated for over 40 years. We're located just 5 minutes north of the Concord Mills Mall in Concord. Sparks has proven that if you treat customers right, they'll keep coming back year after year. People drive from all over the Carolinas to do business with Sparks. The selection is great, and most of the used cars are locally owned trade-ins that have been thoroughly inspected. Lower overhead means we can sell for less. Visit Sparks Chrysler Jeep in Concord and see for yourself. Good people and lower prices. You'll be glad you did.
An 11-lap shootout to finish it up. Morty Buckles, Shane Bradford, Chuck Crump, Ryan Thigpen, and Ben Gable, your top 5.
Boy, that was something else. They were side by side for the lead, and when that lap was scored, Morty Buckle had a fender ahead. Oh, boy.
Okay, they're gonna have a do-over here because somebody jumped on that start. There was a little bit of contact there as Shane Bradford and Morty Buckles got together, headed into one. Buckles back out front, but they're going to do this one again. Now, keep in mind, those 2 yellow stripes there, the leader has the option to start anywhere between those 2 lines.
Yeah.
So it's up to him to try to fool the guys as to when he's going to go, but Morty Buckles didn't get away from Shane Bradford there. They touched going into one.
Yeah. I think he'll be looking to get away from Shane Bradford this time. I'm not sure. That was a little bit of a wake-up call, and you know, I mean, it's within 10 laps of the end of the race. It's going to be interesting because Morty Buckles, to our knowledge, we're sitting here, and I did talk to him, and he has not mentioned a win in a late model stock car. I believe he's going for his first one. Shane Bradford has 1 win this season, but he's up there in the points hunt, and you know he's going to be going for it.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, Steve, as we look here, all the speedy drive from that Brad Kurth incident there may make things a little squirrely coming off of turn 4. We've got 9 laps to go now in this race. But, you know, you were talking earlier about Brad Kurth seemed to be good on short runs. It appears that Morty Buckles is good on long runs, and that may be a problem on these short dashes at the end.
Yeah, if you're good for a long run, the last thing you want is a 7 or 8 lap shootout at the end of a race. And unfortunately, if indeed that's what Morty Buckles is looking for, that's what he's got.
Looks like they're going to put the red flag out now because there may still be some problems down in turn 4. The red flag is indeed out, and they're going to bring the cars to a stop here at lap 141. We'll sort this out and come back with the start after this.
Hi, this is your old friend Darrell Waltrip. You know, over the years, well, I've won my share of races, and it always took the best equipment and a top-notch crew. The same goes for collision repair. At Speedway Paint and Body, they have the most advanced state-of-the-art equipment and a staff of professionals trained in the art of collision repair. They're known throughout the racing community as the premier collision repair center. Shouldn't you trust them too? Quality only happens when you care enough to do your best. Speedway Paint and Body, the shop that cares about you.
Woody Kane, Steve Post, and Steve Gant back here with you at Concord Motorsport Park. Hey, Todd, Vic, Bobby, Kim. Hi, guys. Having fun? We are. It's 5 to go now. We're at lap 152. We're going to free racing here now as Morty Buckles, bidding for his first ever late model win, leads Shane Bradford, Chuck Crump, Ryan Thigpen, Ben Gable, Rob Fuller, then Sean Mangum and Jerry Reary. Those are the only cars on the lead lap.
Now, Woody, we saw on the scoreboard they got 152 laps on the board, but they have to run, the last 5 laps have to be green. Not necessarily consecutive, but the last 5 laps are green.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Morty Buckles had,
speedy drive.
Shane Bradford got sideways in the speedy drive.
Caution's back out. I don't think they ever got the green. I never saw the green wave. I think they just
I think that there may be a problem. They believe that Morty Buckles is starting early because he was well up to speed by the time he got to these 2 yellow stripes here.
Yeah.
And I think the leader has to maintain the pace car speed until he gets between those lines.
Yeah, the official down there just kind of giving him the slow down signal, just kind of telling him. You know, Morty Buckles talking about, we had this red flag before we went to that last commercial. We sat here for probably 12 minutes under a red flag condition. You're a guy sitting there, never won a race in your life. You know, never won a late model stock race in your life, and you know it's going to be 5 laps, and he probably knows Shane Bradford is Shane Bradford and a hard-nosed racer right behind him, and you get to sit there for 12 to 15 minutes to think about, or 15 minutes to think about it.
I think I'm on his team. I think I'd start coming off of 3 or 4 over there.
I'm going in the dog leg myself.
There you go.
I'm touching it off in the dog leg.
See, you guys, that's
now,
exactly
keep in mind, the reason we had the red flag was all the fluid. Now, we thought it was down low where you see the pit worker down there with the flag. We thought it was down low, but when they came back out, they put the bulk of the speedy dry up high, and you saw Shane Bradford getting into it, heading into turn 1, so that may be a factor here.
It's like we got a wild 5 laps, little speedy dry down if it wasn't wild enough with the great drivers themselves.
All right, as we mentioned, only 8 cars remaining on the lead lap. Morty Buckles bidding for his first ever late model win. 1 to go. Less than that now before we get the green. Keep an eye on these 2 yellow lines. The leader can go at his pace between those. Before then, he has to maintain a speed, a slower speed.
He's got it this time. He's got it this time.
There he goes. Oh, Shane, right up on him.
He didn't go to the end of it. He didn't go to the end of the
Look at Shane.
I think Morty may have tried to brake check him there. And Shane Bradford to the inside, but Buckles battles back. Bradford is passed. Here comes Chuck Crump as well. Morty Buckles comes back by. This time, 4 laps will remain.
Boy, I'll tell you this.
I think Morty tried to brake check it.
You know, it's funny. I sat in on the driver's meeting, and the race director here said, this is not a go-kart track. Don't try to brake check each other. And I think that's what Morty did not get started in that box. It was right at the end of the box if he did get going.
Morty Buckles looking low now. Lots of speedy dry there. 3 laps to go.
I'm not sure if he got going on his own or he got going because Shane was pushing him.
I think Shane made him go. There you go.
Looked like Shane Bradford may have wiggled a little bit coming off a 1 that time. Morty Buckles is right there.
Morty Buckles going to be right there on the inside. He's got that car down on the bottom. Works really good right here. Oh, that speedy drive may be a factor, though, down on the inside. 2 laps to go.
Morty Buckles had the lead, was looking for his first ever late model win. Shane Bradford now has taken the lead back. He had been the dominant car virtually all night. White flag set to come out this time as they come off of 4. Morty Buckles dives low again. More speedy drive. Flies.
Oh, Shane Bradford is sideways.
And here comes Morty Buckles. Will he have time?
Morty backed off. Morty.
Sparks fly now from the Dr. Pepper machine. Morty Buckles with one last chance coming off of turn 4. He dives low. Bradford drifts high. Side by side. Shane Bradford wins it. My goodness, what a show.
What a great race. That was a great finish.
Coming home third looks to be Chuck Crump. Ryan Thigpen next in line. There you see your official top 5 finishing order, but what a race. And Morty Buckles going to go up beside Shane Bradford and give him a wave as the cars come around. We'll take a timeout, folks. When we come back, Doug Smith will have Shane Bradford in victory lane as the fans stand after a great late model race here at Concord.
Make Modern Wholesale in Kannapolis your only stop for retail or wholesale priced goods. They offer a complete line of tobacco products plus candy, gum, and novelty candies, not to mention juices, paper products, and a full line of cleaning supplies from disinfectants to deodorizers. If it's a church, civic group, soccer league, or baseball league, let Modern Wholesale fit your need. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and we offer free delivery with a $100 or more purchase. Modern Wholesale, 609 South Main Street in Kannapolis. We're open to the public. Call 933-4161.
Picture this. Carlos has always been a city guy. No need for a car. But then his job lands him out here. Can you picture it? I can. I'm his nationwide insurance agent, and I helped him get auto insurance at the right price. Now if I could just get him used to our traffic.
Call a Nationwide agent today. Nationwide, on your side.
Well, Shane Bradford had been the dominant car virtually all night. Morty Buckles got by him late, and then after a red flag, Shane Bradford got back by him and was able to hang on for the win. Doug Smith has him in victory lane.
Once again, Shane Bradford bringing it home. The victory goes to Shane Bradford. It's the second time in 2001, Shane, that you've put it together. I got to ask you about that right near the end on the restart. You and Buckles, it looked like you may have given him a little Concord driving lesson.
Well, Morty, I tell you what, he's an excellent race car driver, and it's the first time he's been in that situation. And I know that if I didn't get in one and didn't give him a little love tap and let him know that I was still there, that he would have won the race. There ain't no question. We done what we had to do to win the race tonight, and you know, when the tables is turned, I know Morty gonna be pushing on me too. But hey, you know, I didn't try to wreck him. I didn't try to do anything wrong. I just done what I had to do to win.
Well, look, early on, you just had a car that would just seem to be so dominant during the night. Looks like you could run wherever you wanted to. It looked like that maybe the bad luck and the monkey off your back as you've been having it kind of tough the last few weeks.
Yeah, I hope that monkey done climbed on board somebody else, because we don't want him back. But, you know, the car was awesome at the beginning and toward the middle stages of the race, but there toward the end, I tell you, Morty Buckles, he was awesome.
Tell you what, it looked good, and it looked like y'all were having a blast.
Yeah, we was. When that speedy drive broke out, it reminded me of my dirt track days.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, still down in victory lane. It's been an exciting night. Shane Bradford picks up victory number 2. Now back up top to you guys.